Alright, good morning, McCully Summer Fun. We're very fortunate to get the Hawaiian Humane Society to do a presentation about pets, animals. Okay, so if is it Ashley, the ladies? Okay, so I'd like to present at this time those kids can come up. Those kids can come up. Okay, I'd like to present Bonnie. So give you aloha. He's gonna give you a lei. And then we have Susie with the camera. You go to the camera person in the green, give her a lei. And then we have Emmy with the other lei. This other lei. And then you go to Emmy with the fans right here, and right there, straight ahead. And Ronald Lee is hiding. Okay, so without further ado, hope you guys enjoy the Hawaiian Humane Society with Bonnie and her friends. Okay, aloha.
Thank you, Jeff. Hi, everyone. Oh, come on. Hi, everyone. Awesome. Who likes animals? Yeah, all right. Who has a pet at home? Can I see a show of hands? Oh, several of you. Very good. How many of you have at home a dog? Oh, some do. How about a kitty cat? Does anyone have a bunny, a rabbit at home? Oh, you do. Oh, awesome. Does anyone have a chinchilla? Really? Wow! Aren't pets awesome? You know, if you don't have a pet and you like animals, you can visit and pet them and get to interact with them right near McCully Summer Fun. Do you know where you can go to see a lot of pets? Where? Tell me. The zoo. Okay, the zoo has a lot of wild animals, but I'm talking about where can you go to see dogs and cats and guinea pigs and rabbits and fish and birds? You're raising your hand up so high with the police shirt. Petco? You know, that's right, because Petco does help us adopt animals. I'll give you another hint. Well, I see your hand waving way up high over there in the end. The pet store, okay, there's some animals at the pet store, but there's a place where animals go when they get lost. They go here when they get lost, and we help them either find their way back home or we adopt them out. Adoption is a big clue. Pink shirt with a smile on the front. The Hawaiian Humane Society, give her a hand, everyone. Yes. And that is where I work, as well as Susie and Emmy volunteers, as well as someone else you're going to meet very special in a little while. So, please, if you've never been to the Hawaiian Humane Society, come down with your parents. We have so many animals that have gotten lost, and we haven't been able to find their families, and they're looking for new, loving homes to live in. Awesome place to visit. Okay, I'm going to change the topic now. I want you all to close your eyes for a moment, and I want you to imagine the sky. Oh, the sky is so beautiful. Close your eyes, I see you peeking. Sky is beautiful, and now it's nighttime. Shout out what you see in the sky. Stars. Yes, now you can open your eyes. Aren't stars beautiful? If you were a star, would you want to be one of the brightest stars in the sky or one of the dimmest stars in the sky? Right? Dim. Okay, if you want to be a bright star, I want you to reach your hands both way up here and wiggle your fingers and smile big. Yes, very good. Now, if you are a dim star, I want you all to pretend to be a dim star and kind of like sag in your seats and look really down like this. Pull your arms in. Very good. Okay, now I'm going to watch you. Bright Yes! Dim star. Very good. Well, you know, every living person, every living animal has a star right inside of them. Did you know that? You have a star in you. And when things are going kind of junky, like maybe you're walking to Summer Fun and, oh, you stub your toe, or maybe somebody says something to hurt your feelings, or even worse, when you might accidentally hurt somebody else's feelings, guess what happens to the star inside of you? It gets dark. It gets very dim, and we call that a star dimmer. When junk stuff happens, star dimmer. Everybody give me a star dimmer. Star dimmer. Okay. On the other hand, when something really good happens, like your friend treats you to an icy, or your mom and dad take you to the movies, or somebody makes you smile really big, or even better, you make someone else feel really good and maybe bust out in a laugh. Those are, what do you think those are? Star shiners! Everybody give me a star shiner. Star shiner, right on. So, people have star dimmers and star shiners. We all have stars in them. Now, do you think animals have stars in them too? Do you think animals get their feelings hurt? Do you think animals get happy? Yes. Okay, so I'm going to give you a couple of plays. I'm going to tell you a couple of little stories. And I want to see how well you know star shiner and star dimmer. I want you to give me the signal if it's a dimmer or a shiner, okay? For example, the first one is, imagine that we have two friends on the playground. They're just cruising along, and all of a sudden, one friend goes, hey, over there's that new kid. And his shirt looks funny. Let's go make fun of him. Shiner or dimmer? Why? Yes, you and your pretty butterfly glitter shirt. Why would making fun of someone be a dimmer? Is that making that person feel good when we make fun of them? No. And what makes our stars go dark? When we make someone feel sad, right? Okay, let's change this. What if the two friends are in the playground and says, hey, look, there's that new kid. I want to be friends with him. Let's go ask him to shoot hoops with me. Is that a star dimmer? No, it's not. With me, star shiner. Okay, here's another story. There is a girl, and she's playing at the computer. She's playing games. What games do you like to play on the computer? Okay. Whatever the game is, that's your favorite. Okay, thank you for sharing. Whatever your favorite game is, thank you. Whatever your favorite game is, she's playing it. And her little sister comes up and goes, Sister, can you help me? Can you play with me? And she says, no, go away. I'm busy playing a game. Shiner? No, dimmer. Everybody make dimmer. Dimmer. Okay, let's change it about. She is playing her favorite game, and her sister goes, Sister, can you play with me? And she goes, you know, I will play with you in 2 seconds. Let me just turn off the computer, cover it, and we'll go and play. Shiner? Shiner. Okay, last story. Let's imagine a boy is having his friends come over. And he is all excited. And all of a sudden, his dog, Ruff, comes up to him like this and drops his play toy right in front of the boy and does play pose like, come on, play with me, play catch. And the boy goes, go away, Ruff. My friends are coming over, and we don't have time for you. Is that shiner? It's a dimmer. What would make a shiner? What if Ruff drops his little toy and says, play with me? Yes. How could he make that a shiner? If the dog dropped his toy and the boy goes, you know what, Ruff? Yes, absolutely. I will play with you. That's a a great example of a shiner. Is there another example I can hear? Okay, this is a good suggestion too. He goes, oh, his friends are coming over. After my friends come, I will play with you, Ralph. And of course, the big shiner is if he really does play, right? Or how about this? Yes, you have a suggestion? Oh my gosh, that is the shiniest shiner of all. He said, did you hear what he said? How about when his friends come over, they all play along with Ruff. And so everybody has fun together. Shiner! Yes, 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 shiner. Okay, what we're going to do now is I'm going to read you a book called Cammy Cat's Terrible Night. Okay, I want you to pay really close attention because at the end I'm going to ask you if something is a shiner or a dimmer after the story's done. And once we're done with that part, I have a very special guest. Some of you saw the special guest earlier, so pay attention so we can listen to the story. This book is called Cammy Cat's Terrible Night, and it's written by Sheila Hamakawa. One night, Cammy Cat noticed something unusual. There was no screen in the kitchen window. A sliver of a moon, no wider than one of her whiskers, barely lit the alley below. And the house she shared with Mr. Wong. I'm sorry, let me start over. A sliver of the moon, no wider than a cat's whisker, barely lit the alley behind the house she lived in with old Mr. Wong. Music and the delicious smell of fried fish floated in the night air. Someone was having a party. Cammy had never been to a party, and fish was her favorite food. Quicker than a wink, Cammy Cat went through the open window. That was a big mistake. From the other end of the alley, Cammy saw a big black shape charging towards her. A dog! He or she was barking like crazy. Cammy ran. She ran through one backyard, then another, and she ran up a tree. But unfortunately, the tree was small. It was a small tree. The dog jumped up and knocked her to the ground. Cammy Cat landed on her feet and ran right into the street. Something even bigger and faster than the dog was headed right towards her. It had two big eyes, each one brighter than the big full moon. It's a car, yes. Cammy ran and climbed over fences, garbage cans, and gazebos. Fortunately, the dog and the thing with the big yellow eyes were gone. Unfortunately, Cammy was lost and lonely. Now she missed her best friend, Mr. Wong. In Cammy's neighborhood, all the houses looked the same. Was this her house? Cammy peeked inside. Yum! A woman was serving her cat fresh food and water in clean bowls. Meow, Cammy said. I'm hungry too. The woman looked up, but instead of inviting Cammy to dinner, she yelled, "Shoo! Go away!" On the next block, she peeked into another window. Inside, a little boy was brushing the cat with a soft brush. Cammy sighed. Mr. Wong brushed her every single day. Cammy almost meowed, but she remembered how the lady had yelled at her at the last house. She kept going. At the next house, Cammy watched the man clean a cat box. He filled it with fresh litter. There you are, princess, the man said to his cat friend. I know cats are clean and like a clean litter box. Mr. Wong cleaned Cammy Cat's litter box every day. He loved Cammy, and Cammy loved him. Oh, it was so very late now. At the next house, Cammy saw two cats curling up in a nice round cat bed. Mr. Wong had made Cammy a bed from an old blanket. How she missed her soft, warm bed. Sadly, Cammy moved up on to the next house. Inside, a cat was scratching the arm of the sofa. A man who was sitting across the room began to yell. Then he threw a slipper at the cat. Cammy frowned. Mr. Wong always made sure that Cammy had a scratching post. He knew that cats needed a place to scratch. And he never, ever yelled at Cammy. He never hit Cammy or threw things at her. Even if she made a mistake, Mr. Wong was kind. Cammy ran away from that house. Cammy hid under some bushes and she began to cry. Here, kitty, someone said with a soft voice. A young woman bent over and picked up Cammy. I think you're lost, she said. In the morning, the woman took Cammy to the animal shelter, like the Hawaiian Humane Society. We're a bit crowded, but come on in, the veterinarian at the shelter said. How are we supposed to know where you live? I think she's old, said the young woman. Yes, said the veterinarian. And most people want to adopt cute little kittens, he added. She looks kind of scruffy, wouldn't you say? No, I would say she looks beautiful, a voice called out. And old is good. An old friend is the best friend of all. It was Mr. Wong. He had come to the shelter to look for her. I'm sorry, said Mr. Wong. I'm sorry I forgot to put the screen in the window. I'm sorry I didn't give you a collar with a tag on it so people would know where you live. It will never, never happen again. That night, Cammy and Mr. Wong sat in the kitchen after a fine dinner of fried fish. The moon was no wider than 2 cat whiskers, and the alley behind the little house was quiet and dark. The only thing that went out the window was the sound of Mr. Wong's guitar and Cammy Cat's purr as she hummed along. The end. So what do you think of that story? Isn't that nice? Okay, I want someone to stand up and tell me if they can tell me one thing that was a star dimmer. Yes. Oh yeah, that's right. A star dimmer was when Cammy Cat was crying because she was lonesome. Very good. Someone else, give me another star dimmer. Yes, sir. Oh, I know. When the neighbor yelled, get out, shoot, go away. That was a dimmer. One more thing. Oh, when Cammy Cat got lost and she didn't have an ID tag, that was definitely a dimmer. I see another hand going up. Yes, okay, last one. Okay. Right? Right? He said when the man threw the slipper at the cat because she was doing what she naturally does, which is scratch, that was a dimmer. That was really a dimmer. Now, what are some shiners? Oh, yes, sir. Oh my goodness, when Cammy Cat and Mr. Wong got back together, that was a big star shiner, wasn't it? Yes. Okay, yes, sir. When that nice lady found Cammy Cat under the bushes and called her and took her out, yes, that was a big star shiner. That made your heart go thump thump. Yes? You're good. I'll come to you. Thank you. Oh, when Cammy Cat got back to her house and they got to enjoy that fried fish dinner and sit in the window, yes, that was a big star shiner. Yes. For you. Remember when Cammy Cat looked in one of the windows and she saw the boy brushing his cat's fur? Was that a star shiner? Even though it didn't help Cammy Cat, but was that a star shiner for the kitty and the boy? Yes. Or when the lady was feeding her cat food and water in clean bowls, is that a star shiner for her and her cat? Whenever we treat our pets well and we treat one another well, our friends, and when you treat me well and I treat you well, those are all great star shiners. Great. Yes, sir. Yes, that's right. When the man was filling the litter box with clean litter, that was a star shiner for the man and his cat. So very good. Let's see. Make sure before I call our next guest up, because I like to talk on the microphone. It's my favorite thing to do. Okay. The last thing I want to say is that pets are a big responsibility. If you have a pet, that pet is part of your family. They're not just like a stuffed animal or a toy on the side. They are a living creature that can give you so many star shiners in your life and really help you to learn and become bigger and stronger and better individuals. That's a big word, bigger and stronger and better people. So they're really, really good to have, but you have to remember that there's a lot of responsibility. So I want everyone to listen to what I'm going to share with you. If you ever have a pet, or if you do have a pet, I want you to promise that you will always make sure to take your pet on, if it's a dog, take your pet on walks, give your pet good food and water in clean bowls, make him or her part of your family and involve them in activities, like if you're going to go hiking or you're going to go to the beach, go to a pet-friendly beach or hike trail. And this is really important, that you will train your pet, whether it's a dog or a cat or a rabbit, you'll train him to do tricks. Because all animals love to learn. They're just like us, they get bored. So if you teach them tricks, it's really important. Promise me that they will always have an ID tag so they can get home. At the shelter, we take in about 23,000 animals. 70 animals a day land on our doorstep, and many of them do not have any ID. So we can't get them home to their families, and it's really sad because they miss their families, right? If you got lost and you couldn't find your way home, wouldn't you feel sad? So just the same, we want to make sure they, wait a second, I have a question. How many of you know of a pet, a dog, cat, whatever, that can tell you their phone number? Do you know of a pet who can tell you their phone number or address? Raise your hand. No, right? There's no pets that can talk. Well, not in real life anyway. That's why the ID is so important. If you promise to do these things, can you give me a hand in the air? You promise that you will be kind to animals, you will take care of animals, whether you have a pet or not, if you get a pet in the future. You promise? You promise? I want 2 hands up. 2 hands up. You know what you just did? You gave me a big star shiner! So what we're going to do now is we're going to call down and give you a big star shiner. we're going to call down a special guest. And after she comes down, you can, actually I didn't ask the leaders. How are we going to allow them to interact with our special guest? Boys and girls, I'd like to present Ronaldie and Lou, her dog Lou. They are what we call pet visitation teams. They're joy ambassadors. They visit hospitals, care homes, schools, and summer funds. She's very, very kind and easygoing dog, and Ronaldie is super duper. Would you like to pet her? So leaders, how are we going to organize this? Are you going to let them come up in groups, or do you want Ronaldie to walk through the crowd? How would you like to handle this? Okay, so Ronaldie's going to walk around, and each of you are going to have a chance to interact with Blue as you exit. You're also, while you're leaving, we're going to give you a special gift from the Hawaiian Humane Society. Do you remember what we have at the Hawaiian Humane Society? We have lots of animals, right? So come with your parents. On this brochure in the front, you'll see that we have a tattoo, a temporary tattoo for you, and the little booklet and the flyers are for your parents. And it'll kind of summarize everything we talked about today. So what we're going to do is Ronaldie is going to wait by the door on this side, and your leaders are going to excuse you one group at a time. In the meantime, we'll hand out your tattoos, okay?